What is going on, everyone? Today's video, I'm going to talk about my current YouTube setup. That's going to be like this talking head stuff right here. Talk about the equipment that I use to make this, the lighting, the audio, and everything that is involved in capturing the shot that you are looking at right now. Now, most importantly, what I like to do in the beginning of my video is to make sure our white balance is set correctly. So in this case, I like to use a color checker or a spider checker, which is what this is called. And this just basically allows me to get my perfect white balance, whether I want a white balance off the white or 18% gray. Whatever I would like to do in post, I can just get the dropper tool and select one of these colors. If I don't like a certain color, I can use the white and that would just give me like more of a natural tone to my grade. Or if I want something a little bit warmer, I can select the gray. It all depends on the look you want. So that's the most important thing that I like to do just so I can get my colors on point. The next thing is to just make sure I am on the correct Wi-Fi for my phone, because most of the lighting in here is set on a Wi-Fi signal, which is going to be the GVM that is coming through this door right here, shining through, and I'm going to show you that setup in a second. These two practicals right here, I'm just looking off my monitor right there and right there. Those are set on a Wi-Fi signal as well. Those are RGB light bulbs that I just like to use in my setup just to kind of keep it more of a realistic setup. And then the other most important, probably the most important light in this whole setup is my key light. I'm using the Ulanzi inflatable tube light, which is this guy right here. These are great. If you guys are interested in seeing a video about this, I'll post a link up here. Super easy and fast to set up, which is why I like using them. And then the most important part that I like using for these videos, talking head videos, is the Accsoon Cineview Nano, I think it's called. And that basically allows me to go wireless signal and view my image. So right now, I have my phone on top of my camera that is hooked up to the Cineview Nano. And if I want to go and set up my light in the background over there, or just check my exposure or brighten it up or change the temperature, I can bring my phone with me over there, and as I'm dialing in the temperature or exposure or whatever it is, I can see wirelessly what my camera is shooting. So instead of going back and forth and recording, this kind of helps me save a lot of time and it allows me to get the shot a lot faster and smoother. And I've also used this on a short film that I shot over a month ago. I'll post a link up here somewhere if you guys are interested in taking a look at that video of this whole setup in use. It's a great setup. I would recommend it. It is like, I think 150 or 200 bucks. It's very cheap and it's very reliable. And it actually has like an iPhone holder, so I can actually take my phone off the holder and walk around. But that's also one important thing that I like to use, just because I am able to walk around and make sure my shot is in focus as well, and just make sure everything is running smoothly. And last thing, audio. Right now I am using the Comica CVM40, whatever it is, the new one that has the internal 32-bit float recording. 32 gig memory of storage. I've been using this microphone for the last, I would say, month or so. Great microphone. I'm using it right now, just holding it, just because I don't want to set it up on a boom pole or whatever, and I just like to walk around with it. Right now, this is recording in 32-bit float. The level is at 10. Very minimal of editing that I do in DaVinci Resolve for the audio, because the quality coming out of this guy is amazing. And then I just have to sync it up in post, which is very easy. One most important, I keep saying the most important thing, but the one most important, basically like the cherry on top that makes this video look like this, is the whole set design and mood that I have going on in this room. Now, essentially, I built this room to kind of rent it out for photo shoots and stuff like that. I built this around 2.5 years ago with my buddy Frank. But that initially didn't happen with the whole renting out as a photography studio. Instead, I am using it for my YouTube videos, which I feel like I actually put it in use every week. So yeah, we're here today. This is the set that we're using, basically like a vintage style set. We got a couch in the back, lamps, We got the wallpaper, which was all from Amazon, and then we got the boards, which was from Home Depot, which is a sticker on as well to make it look like wood. And I feel like this whole set design is what makes the mood of this video look like the way it is. And then we have the lighting and then audio, and then those are just all other key important factors that make this video look like how it is. So that is all the main important stuff that I use to make these YouTube videos. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn each light off to show you what and how it looks setting up individual lighting and how it would look like if we didn't have these lights in this whole set design. So as I was talking about the Accsoon Nano, as you can see, I am recording myself. I can see what I am viewing, which is amazing for myself. And the only thing is that if you have an iPhone and all these other lights are on another Wi-Fi signal, because the Accsoon gives off a Wi-Fi signal, which is what the iPhone is hooked up to, I have to exit the Wi-Fi from the Accsoon and then connect to my Wi-Fi that is in the building, and then go on that Wi-Fi to control my lights. So that's the only thing. So if you are using a setup that is similar, I would recommend getting another device where you can use as for the Accsoon Nano, Cineview Nano, or just an iPad or whatever it is to set the lights up with its own Wi-Fi. So we're gonna go ahead and turn off each light. So we got the GVM 300C Pro, and then we also have the RGB lights in the background on the that are acting as the practicals in the lamp fixtures. So right now, all you're seeing is basically a dark room with my one key light. Kind of looks terrible. You can't really see what is going on behind me. So now we're gonna go ahead, turn on each light, and then we're gonna see how this whole set basically comes to life. So first things first is we're gonna turn on the main light, the GVM, which is acting like a street lamp outside, because I set up curtains, drapes, or whatever on the top there to make it look like we're in a basement. So we're gonna go ahead, open up the GVM 300C Pro app. I'm going to click that and turn it on. That's what it looks like with just the GVM 300C Pro. As you can tell, kind of making the whole set come to life. But I think it just looks a little bit better if we add some simple practicals in the background. Now, what we can also do is either turn on one practical or turn on both. So right now we have both practicals and they are both set to 100%. So what we can actually do is bring them both down to 28% just so they don't look too bright. So that is 28%, and I don't even know what this really looks like because I'm using my phone. I don't have the Accsoon hooked up to the Wi-Fi signal. So we're gonna roll with this. I'm going to go back onto the Wi-Fi for the Accsoon, and I'm going to see what this looks like. And if we have to bring up the practical lights, we can. Okay, so it's very similar to what I had in the beginning. It's just those practicals are not very powerful as they were in the beginning, but I kind of like the way this is looking as well. The whole purpose of this setup is to give off like a vintage retro vibe set, and that's what I intended for this to look like. And I just feel like there was nothing like this in the area. But instead, I'm using this for my entire YouTube setup. Forgot to mention, I keep saying the most important thing. This is basically like the whipped cream on top of the cherry, or I guess the cherry is supposed to be on top of the whipped cream, but the cherry will be on top of the whipped cream. We are talking about the camera that I'm using right now, and that is going to be the Nikon Z8. And you can see the Accsoon Nano on top right there with the phone holder, which is where my phone goes onto. And then we have the key light, as I mentioned previously. And then we have the entire setup. If you guys are interested in taking a look at all the lighting that I use, I'll add them in the description below. So until then, we'll see you guys on the next video.